Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Studio Live today and the final show of Songtember 2020. Yes, this is the show where we will be releasing this song. It is the September 30th, the morning of here. So I've done it, sort of, assuming that you're going to accept that the song being finished is the same as the song being released, because we're relying on DistroKid to kind of get this out in 24 hours, which sometimes happens. Sometimes not, but we will see how things go. If it's your first time here or you're new to the channel, my name is Pete. This is Studio Live today, and this is where my goal is to help you create, record, and release your best music. And for the month of September 2020, we've renamed it. We've renamed it Songtember 2020, and I've been encouraging you to create, record, and release your own song in the month of September, and I've been doing it too. Someone very kindly on Instagram yesterday said, I was struggling to get to the end of Songtember and get my song done and out, and they said, yeah, that's because you've been spending all your time making videos helping us create a song. And I thought, yeah, okay, that's definitely worth it. So yes, we're going to dive into it. What we're going to do in this one is you're going to get a look at the final song. We're going to jump into DistroKid and release it, and then we'll have a little bit of a Q&A session to have a chat. And if you've got any questions about the whole process, the songwriting, the recording, the mixing, the mastering, the releasing, anything at all, we can cover that in this show here today. We just finished a premiere video, which will be linked down in the description if you're watching on the replay, where I showed how I mastered this. I used a very cool free mastering service called schnalls.com, and yeah, we just saw how that turned my final mix into my final master. So if you want to find out how that worked, you can check that out, and the entire playlist for Songtember 2020 is down in the description as well. So if you're late to the party, don't worry, you can join us. And you know what? If it's the 1st of October, just do it in October. Like the whole point of this is that we all do it together, and we'll be back in 2021 to do it again. But the premise of this is to get something done, to give yourself a time frame, a deadline to get something done. G'day to the folks that we have here live. We've got Dr. Zanders. Hello to you. Dom Thatchin is here. Jade Starr says she's cutting it even finer. Yeah, I know. It's because she's been doing daily videos and playing drums on mine as well. Hello, Langston Reese. Hello, Darren Daniluk, where it's 420. Andy Goldsby is here live as well. Hello to you, my friend. Grow with SMO. Hello to you. And yeah, anyone else who I'm missing here? Josh Gates is in the house. Hello to you all. Let's dive in. Gary Hubbs. Of course, Gary Hubbs is joining us here. If you didn't, I've had 3 videos in the last 24 hours. So I had a video that I dropped about 8 hours ago that was Gary Hubbs's drumming method. So how to get your own drum samples into your GarageBand projects. It was super cool. If you didn't catch it, I recommend it. All right, let's enough me messing around. Let's get the show on the road, shall we? So we'll share my screen and we'll jump into DistroKid and get ourselves started. So here is my DistroKid platform. We will do that, and we will bring it up. We'll embiggen it. Just make sure there's nothing on the screen that you can't see. No, we're good. We'll embiggen it there. I'll just get rid of my little logo there, because that's going to get in the way of the corner. All right, we are good, but I can sit down here in the bottom right corner because nothing much should happen down here. So DistroKid, if you've never used it before, it is an online distribution platform. You can see here that I've got all of my EPs, singles, albums, and the reason I've released so many back from 2016 right up to today is that for $20 a year you can get the artist plan and you can release as much music as you want. So unlimited music releases, singles, albums, EP, as many as you want at a time. So you can go nuts. You can release all of your music online to Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, Deezer, Amazon, you name it, it gets out there to like hundreds of locations. So it's a really cool service. I've been using them for many, many years. Full disclosure, they are a sponsor of this channel from time to time, but I've been using them since well before they started sponsoring. I only actually accept sponsorships from companies that I actually use and from services that I use and trust, and DistroKid is one of them. There is a link down in the description for 7% off your first year of DistroKid if you are not already a DistroKid user. But enough stuff. Let's hit the upload button and get cracking with getting this song out there, shall we? So I should be pretty good at this by now because I've done it a bunch of times. So here is our upload form. Where do we want it to deliver it to? Everywhere. Let's put it out to everywhere in the world. Is it a single or an album? It's a single, so we just go one song, not 21 songs. Has it been previously released? No, it's a brand new song. The artist name here is going to default to my artist name because I've already released before. I'm already set in Spotify and Apple Music, so we're all good to go there. By the way, if you want more detailed information, there's a bunch of videos down in the description that will show you how to do this in more detail. I actually step you through and explain each part. For this one, we're just going to get it out there. I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is. Release date, we're just putting it in today. Well, it's September 30th here, but in the US, September 29. So we're going to go with today. So pre-order, no, don't let anyone buy it till the release date because I don't really know how it's going to work. Hopefully it's just out as soon as possible. Righty dokie. Album artwork. So we need a JPEG, and over here it recommends a JPEG of 3000 by 3000. So what I'm going to do is let's grab my artwork. I will just, I'll pop that one off for a second and come back to me and make sure I've got everything that I need here, because here is my album artwork. And come back to here. All right, I've got everything set. Should have done that before the show. My apologies. So if we bring this back in the spotlight, here we go. So here is my album artwork, and here is my final master that I just did with Schnalls that's going to be ready to go. So we're going to drag in this album artwork and boom, there it is, new beginning. Shout out to my daughter who designed this. I was running out of time. I'm using all my resources here. Jade Star drummed and helped me with the bass. I got my daughter to design my album artwork. I said, buddy, school holidays, if you've got some time, feel free to design me an album artwork. She did like 4 different designs originally, and they were all good. And I'm like, oh, which one do we go with? And then, she came up with this one out of the blue because I said, oh, it's like a hard rock song. She's heard the song, and I'm like, yeah, that's the hard rock cover that we needed. This is the cover we are looking for. So we're going to go with that one, JPEG of 3000 by 3000. English, now genres. I get to be fun here because it's definitely alternative. I'm going to put that as the first genre. And I may even, can I put, do we have metal? Or what does it call it? I think it might just call it, I don't think it goes down to that level. We'll just go rock. So alternative and rock is what we're going with here. The track title, we need to very carefully spell N-E-W space B-I-B-E-G-I-N-N-I-N-G. All right, those in the chat here, yell at me if anything's going wrong. If I'm getting anything wrong here, and if I'm spelling anything wrong, please yell at me. Make sure it's working okay. Yes, thank you, Metallion. I know it's better than what I could design. Just goes to show you don't need to do everything yourself, and sometimes people are better at things than you are. Yes, it is. It really is really cool. And we've got some questions there about the tier. We'll answer more questions later, but yeah, you need a higher tier to membership to release under different names. So I'll explain a bit more about DistroKid at the end, but short version is I've got the Musician Plus account, which gives you 2 musician artist names, and it lets you change the release date, lets you do pre-orders, and it lets you change the price, as well as a few other smaller things. So if you get the basic plan, the $19.99 per year, you get 1 artist name, you can only release as soon as possible, and that's it. So yeah, you just basically just have to push it out there. If you want to like customize your record label name, you want to customize the release date, then the Musician Plus account, which I think is about $35.99 per year. I've got more videos in the description that explain more about that if you want to check it out. Let's get back to this. Yeah, how cool is the album cover? And I like being able to say that because it's not me. It's like how I can give kudos to Gary for his drum tips and kudos to Jade for her drumming, because when it's not me, it's cool. All right, choosing a file. So no file is chosen yet, but we know we have our file here. So what I'm going to do is copy the location of the file, hit the choose file button here. We're going to paste in that location, and we're going to choose the file. So boom, there is my WAV file. We're going to hit open. And there it is. It's definitely the Schnalls new one. I'll have a quick listen to it afterwards before we hit submit, just to make sure it's the right file. You'd never want to do that thing where you put the wrong file in here. Because here's my big tip with releasing. Double, triple, quadruple check it now. It's so much easier to fix something now than it is after you release it. You can edit your releases, but it's not easy. So I wouldn't recommend relying on the fact that you can edit it after the fact. Get it right at the source. A bit like creating music. Get it right at the source wherever you can. I wrote this song well, along with the rest of you of the Studio Live Today community, but I wrote this song. So songwriter's name, music and lyrics, I just put my name, and in this case it's your full name that you want to put in here. Even though I go by Pete Johns, Peter Johns is my official name on my birth certificate, so if there's ever any legal problems and someone tries to rip me off or say I didn't write the song, it is there under my full legal name. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. Explicit lyrics, no, I kept it clean even though it's hard rock. Song is clean and always has been clean. It does contain lyrics. I'm going to let the streaming services decide the preview clip time this time around. I can edit that later. That is an easy one to edit, so that's cool. Let the streaming services, track price, we'll just go 99 cents. Keep it nice and simple. And then these bottom sections. So do we want to go to Instagram and Facebook? It's free, so yeah, why not? Don't want to do the YouTube money thing. So this is YouTube Content ID. I definitely don't want to do this because what would happen is if I selected this, anyone who created a video on YouTube that used my song would get a copyright claim, and then any revenue that they make through advertising would go back to me via DistroKid. Now that might sound cool, and for some of you that may be cool. That's good. If you have a really cool popular song, people use it on videos, then you may want to recoup that. You may want to pay the $4.95 per year to do that. I don't, for the main reason that I've used this song in 17 other videos this month. So if I do YouTube money here, it's going to claim all of those videos and then send my money back to me, minus 20% through DistroKid. Would not be a good idea. Not going to do it. Don't want to do the store maximizer or iPhone and Siri or the legacy stuff. You can read through that and find that out in your own time. Before we do the final selections, what I am going to do is, how about Siri for a loonie? Yeah, maybe we've been talking about the fact that Canadian dollars have loons on them, and they're called loonies. There you go. Righty dokey. Let's come back here. So what I'll do is I'll just listen to the file. So we'll come over to here. We'll take a listen and make sure. I'll just turn my volume up a little bit and just take a quick listen and make sure that this WAV file is indeed the WAV file we are looking for. Yep, that's cool. So I'm going to go back to the start of the song and just play it and make sure we don't have any clicks and pops at the start, that the timing is good. So we hit play like click. Yep, good. Let's just do a quick check at the end of the song and make sure that this is all good. There's our fade out. Right down to silence. Perfection. So I think we are going to be good here. So I'm just going to close off on that, and then I'll bring you back over just to make sure that I'm not showing, credit card numbers or anything that I don't want to show on a live stream. And then we're going to come back and finish off this process. So boom, we'll bring this back up and we'll make it embiggened. So I've selected YouTube Music. I know how YouTube Music works. If you don't or you're not clear, read that and make sure you understand that. Click at all the links. I've read these a bunch of times, so I know exactly what they're saying here. But take care. I get questions about releasing with DistroKid more than any other videos I've made. I don't get many views on my DistroKid videos, but I get questions because people get really excited. They want to get their release out there. They just go, yeah, sure, and release, and they haven't followed the album artwork guidelines, or they haven't followed the audio file setting guidelines, and they get themselves into a world of trouble. So please do that. Check and double check. So which is what we're going to do here right now. We're going to check the services. Yep. All of them. It's one song. It hasn't been previously released. Pete Johns looks good. I've all set there. As soon as possible. No pre-sale. Studio Live Today Records. There's the epic album artwork there. English alternative rock. New Beginning, spelled B-E-G-I-N-N-I-N-G, which is a weird word. My wife was like, beginning shouldn't have two N's. It should just be one N. I'm like, yeah, probably. But wedding has two N's, so who knows? We've got the file there. It's definitely the Schnalls file. Don't have an ISRC code because it's never been released before. I wrote it. There's my name. Explicit, no. Yep, 99 cents. Just Instagram, Facebook. We're good to go. And yeah, I'm not going to bother putting it on Shazam and iPhone Siri. It seems to pop up there sometimes anyway. So I'm not going to really bother with it. Righty dokey. I am going to hit the done button and we'll see what actually happens here. So what it should do, if everything's been done correctly, drum roll please. verifying, uploading. So the album artwork will only take a mere couple of seconds to upload here, even on my semi-dodgy NBN network here in Australia, and then the track itself will take a little bit longer to upload. So we'll let that go and do its thing, and while it's uploading, while it's finishing, if anyone does have any questions about this, please let me know. Darren says, I'm keeping my next album clean, no profanity. I made a few errors last time uploading profanity-based songs without indicating such accident. This time, no profanity and hopefully all okay. Yeah, so you do need to be careful. If you do have explicit lyrics, be careful with that. And the album cover is one that I get a lot of folks having trouble with. The other thing to keep in mind is re-releasing. So I get a lot of people saying, hey, I want to re-release the exact same song because, I didn't get on playlists or it didn't get much attention. So I want to do a big, extra re-release. The stores and the platforms have really cracked down on this because what they were finding is a lot of artists, especially in the last 6 months where everyone is recording and releasing, which is good, but a lot of artists would not know what they're doing the first time around. They'd release their song and then they go, oh no, I should have released it in 3 weeks time and I should have submitted it to Spotify playlists and I should have promoted it on social and blah, 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 blah. So they go back and they try and re-release the exact same song. The stores have stopped it because otherwise it was getting ridiculous. Like people were releasing the same song. They would change the title. They'd change the album artwork. They'd even change the artist name. They were releasing the same song over and over again. So keep that in mind when you get there. And Josh is actually asking about that. Do you have any tip on getting on playlists once you've distributed your music? I really don't, but I need to do some more research into that because a lot of people ask me about that, and I've never really focused on that side of it in terms of getting exposure and marketing. Like the channel here's never really been about marketing your music. There's Damien Keys and there's a bunch of other channels that do a great job talking about marketing, getting on playlists and all that sort of thing. So maybe what I should do, because it's not my forte, maybe I should do a video where I point you to all the cool resources that I watch that talk about marketing and whatnot. So, but a very, very good question. Let's take a look. So we're done. There you go, done. That was easy, wasn't it? It kind of was, as I always say. So when will this single be released is the big question. Now, Jade always jokes that I have some sort of weird connection with DistroKid where they just, as soon as they see a Peach On song, they release it immediately. I don't think so. I think they do like me, but I don't think they have someone literally that's hired to watch and every time a release comes out to push it really hard. But yeah, it says give stores up to a week to push your album live. In my experience, it usually takes between 2 days and about 7 days to hit most stores. Sometimes it can take longer. Spotify takes a bit longer generally. iTunes and Apple Music can take a bit longer. Places like Deezer and Google Play and YouTube Music, within 24 hours a lot of the time. So I may go to bed at night tonight, and this one could be out in some places. Now, I've talked about Hyperfollow before. It's pretty darn cool. So we've got a pre-save page here. If we hit the preview button, it'll take us to our pre-save page. Now, they have changed this. I don't know if I love the new pre-save page, but it's okay. You can customize it quite a lot, as I've shown in a previous video as well. So I'll do that afterwards to add a bunch of other stuff to it, but it's pretty clean. It's got the Spotify pre-save there, which you can do right now. Let's see if we can take a preview listen. Let's see what it has chosen to play as the preview part of this song. Cultivation of new ideas to make a difference. So it gives you a decent 30-second preview. There's a new beginning. Maybe I should have actually customized the start time of the preview clip, or maybe it's a marketing ploy. I'm like, oh, that sounds like this is going to get into a cool chorus, but then it cuts off. So then people have to pre-save it and actually go and get it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Available soon. If I copy that one, I'll paste this one down here into the chat for those that are watching live, and I will put the same Hyperfollow link down in the description of this video afterwards. So yeah, that should be there for you. If you want to click it, tap it, check it out, and I'll make sure it's in the description of the video as well. There you go. Jade Star has got a good suggestion here. She said bookmark this link to the Apple Music release style guide to answer many questions. Yeah, as you can see, my album art is never that complicated or particularly controversial. I don't know. Maybe there's some law that says you can't do animal cruelty, and a phoenix, a bird-shaped fire emblem here that I got from Canva is going to have a problem. By the way, album art was designed using Canva.com. There's a link to Canva down below. I use the paid version, which has a bunch of cool stuff. I use it for all my YouTube thumbnails, all my social media posts, and all my album artwork. A heap of royalty-free images that you can use in there, thousands of fonts, thousands of different styles. It really is a cool way, and the free version is pretty cool. There's still plenty of stuff in the free version. If you just want a simple album art and you've got no design skills or no Photoshop skills like me, then Canva.com is highly recommended for doing that stuff. Let's come in because we'll see if we've got some questions. I think we've got a question here from Stu. So Stu and Andy, Stu Gash, Andy Goldsby, the Indigo Sunsets. Question, Pete, we're uploading our album on Saturday. Is it best to have all songs on the same album cover or different artwork for each track? So if you're releasing an album, there's a couple of ways you can approach it. For the actual album, it should just be the one album artwork. So if we jump back, where am I? DistroKid. If I go back to my DistroKid and go to my music, I'll just show you quickly what I'm talking about here. So you'll notice here that there's my new beginning. By the way, it's yellow at the moment. So you can see there, that means that it's being processed. If we hover over it, it says processing. These ones are all done. So things like this, my last EP, it's a 6-track, and that's the album cover for it. So what you can do though, and what you might want to do, if you haven't released them as singles through DistroKid, and this is a good question and a good segue here, is what you can actually do is release the album, and then you can release each single from the album. So you've probably seen bands do this before. You can either do it one way or the other way. You can release singles individually. So if you wanted to build hype, you could release a single every 2 weeks for like 10 weeks or 20 weeks, depending how many songs there are, and then release the whole album. Or you could just put the album out there, people can stream it and buy it straight away. But then if you want to try to get on playlist with each individual song, you can actually re-release each single with its own album art, its own independent release. So I've done that a few times. You might recall that this song, Hold On, was from Songtember last year. So this is last year's Songtember single, but then it also made its way onto my EP called Maybe. So Maybe, if we come in here and look at this one, so this one has No Apologies, Hold On, Fence Sitter, Things Have Changed, and Perfect on there. Actually, no, sorry, it was on it was on Own Battle that I put Hold On. Oh, no, there it is. Hold On. Don't worry, losing the plot. So Hold On is there, and if we go back, you'll notice that I've released Hold On and No Apologies as singles. So you can, while I said before you can't re-release exactly the same song, if it's on an album but then released as a single, you 100% can. So yeah, keep that in mind. And in fact, you can even make it line up. So when I released Own Battle, I made it line up because some of these had already been released as singles. So I used the same ISRC code here. You can actually custom put in the ISRC code so that it will hopefully line that up with the original single version in terms of number of plays and adding to playlists and that sort of thing. I haven't gone back to check if it actually worked, but that was the general premise of it and how it should have worked. But very, very good question. Thank you for that. I'll keep scrolling down and see if we've got any. Gary says that his was through DistroKid. Greased lightning file. I see what you did there. I'm looking forward to checking out everyone's Songtember songs this weekend, which I'll tell you about at the end in case you are wondering what were happening. What would happen from Ciaz or Kiaz? What would happen if you release this song on your YouTube channel without DistroKid? Will it get copyrighted or something? So no. So I was explaining just before when we were releasing that if I chose the YouTube content ID for $4.95 per year through DistroKid, they would then search, and any video that uses this song, including my own on my own channel, would actually get flagged as a copyright claim, and then that would be sent back. If you don't select YouTube Content ID and you own the copyright and no one else owns the copyright to this song, which is the case for this, you're 100% okay. So if you grabbed my song tomorrow and used it in a video, I've got zero protection, which is fine. I actually don't care. If you do that, please just give me attribution. Like put using the song New Beginning by Pete Johns down in the description and put a link to my channel, and I'll be absolutely happy. I don't go after people who use my content unless they do it nefariously and try to profit or benefit directly from my stuff without attributing it to me. So hopefully that helps explain that one. But yeah, you can 100% release this. So I am actually. So tomorrow I'll be releasing a version with a visualization using the very cool what's it called? Visibel app. I'll be releasing a visualization version with just the album cover and a little visualizer and the song, so that even before it's released, there'll be a version on YouTube on this channel. So yeah, there'll be the official YouTube topic version that goes to my Pete Johns topic channel, which is a separate channel to this one, and then there'll be the one that I can release myself. So no problems doing that. Yes, cool. So Alexandra, thank you for being here. Says, I'm following on Spotify now. You made some really cool songs. Congrats. If you want to hear some of my stuff, yes, I can search for you. Cool. No problems. Thank you. No, thank you, Stu. Hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Right, this was pretty much what we wanted to do here today. So mission accomplished. I think we've got this a happening thing. It's released there. Like I said, I will put the link to this one down in the description. But before we finish up, let's just talk a little bit about Songtember, and we'll close off on the whole month and everything that's gone on here. So back on the 1st of September, I put out the call and I said, who's in for Songtember 2020? A bunch of you came to the party and have created, recorded, and released songs. Now, keep an eye on the channel here, because in the next day, I will be putting up the live show. So this Saturday morning, which will be Friday afternoon or Friday evening, depending where you are in the world, Friday afternoon in the US and Canada, Friday evening in the UK and Europe, and Saturday morning for us here in Australia, we will be having a listening party, a special edition of Your Music Live for just Songtember songs. So all you need to do is put in the subject line of an email, send it to me, pete@studiolivetoday.com, put in the subject line YML for Your Music Live, and then hashtag Songtember. I've already got a heap of ones. Auntie G, Gertrude sent me a song. Stu, I think you guys have sent me a song. Oh, Andy definitely has. I've got Darren, you've sent me a song. Yeah, Gary sent me a tune. Heaps of people have already sent me songs, and they're already in the inbox and ready to be played. And if you're there live and I've missed you for some reason, yeah, I'll be able to grab your song on the day and play it live. So that will be happening in the future. By the way, speaking of things happening in the future, do definitely drop over to Jade Starr's channel in 13 minutes. So straight after this one, she'll be live talking about Bandcamp and how to sell your music on Bandcamp. So that'll be a really good complementary video to this one, because if you've used, if you're not in the market for actually releasing to Spotify and Apple Music and all the places with someone like DistroKid, you can of course use Bandcamp or some of the other independent music releasing platforms to actually get your music out there. So that it will be a great one to listen to there. I need to mix my songs way better. Hey, we're all here trying, aren't we? Battalion says, I may want to redo the vocals after the fact, but my song will be released in time. Well, there you go. And that's the thing. Get it out there. While I say, once it's out there, it's done, it's finished, if I then wanted to include this song on an album, there's nothing stopping me remixing it and remastering it and doing other things down the track. So, yeah. There we go. Did I get your song, Josh? I'm almost positive I did. I'm pretty sure I saw a Josh Gates email. But yeah, if you tune in on the time, I'll try and respond to the ones that have already sent me stuff, and I'll let you know that I've actually got your email. But if you have sent it and you've got YML Songtember, it's no doubt in the file. Oh, Desolate Morning, you are really late. You can catch up on the replay. Of course you can. And you can catch this video and all of my other videos and replays of live shows and a bunch of tutorials and tips and tricks and everything else over on studiolivetoday.com. That is my home on the internet. You can check out the links down below to where you can get your discount off DistroKid if you're interested in releasing music. You can also go to the gear guide, studiolivetoday.com/gear. And like many of the wonderful folks here in the chat, you can join me on Patreon, patreon.com/Pete Johns. But the best thing you can do is simply watch the videos, hit the like button if you enjoy them, subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more, and share, because I know a lot of people, I get emails all the time from people saying, I got an email from this person and they said that if I'm going to start recording music, I should check you out. And that really means a lot to me, because my goal, my mission here is to help as many people as possible create, record, and release your best music. I'm with you, Andy. Songtember has been emotional. It has been a physically and mentally draining month. I am very happy that it's done, but I'm also feeling super fulfilled and super proud of every one of you who has stepped up to the plate and has delivered. And you know what? One final thing. If you haven't finished your song, guess what? If you've started, if you've done anything, you've done more than nothing. And that's what you got to look at. So if you haven't finished, if you don't quite get there by the end of September, don't stress. All is not lost. You've probably got some pretty cool ideas and some pretty cool starts of songs that you can actually go and check out. Thanks everyone for being here. I am going to jump off here now. Keep an eye out tomorrow. We'll have that release of the song. And yeah, there'll be links in the description to where you can follow and check out the song here. But until next time, be nice, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, keep creating, and I'll see you real soon.